Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS. You can be voting now or you can vote on Election Day, May 7th. Whichever you choose, please make sure you vote. We are going to meet a candidate in this edition of WJTS Inform, and that is Merrill Osterman. Merrill is running for the office of Jasper City Council, District number 3. And we want to point out, not everybody in every district will be voting. We are voting only in District 3 for the race that you are in.
Correct.
So maybe we should start off. We don't really know Merrill Osterman. Let's find out. Who is Mr. Osterman?
Who is Mr. Osterman? So I've been in Jasper about 25 years. Indiana native, grew up in Madison, Indiana. As I say, I grew up a river rat on the Ohio River. And been here about 25 years. Grew up in the information technology industry. And I am, I'm just really more than anything motivated to serve. So we're a military family. My dad was a U.S. Marine. I have a son in the U.S. Marines now and a daughter who is in the United States Navy. My day job, I do work for the Department of Defense and the U.S. Air Force. So, really I'm just all about service. I'm motivated to serve, and I've been involved with the community and Precious Blood Church for quite some time now. So.
Well, then what possessed you to say, I think I'm going to run for city council?
It really is the motivation to serve. A lot of people have encouraged me to do so. Spent a little time involved in the political process during the mayor tie a few years ago, and also got involved with the recent caucus when Terry Seitz moved on to Mike Braun's operation, and that opened up some positions on the city council. So kind of dipped my toes in the water a little bit there, and had some further encouragement to move forward. But again, it's really all about service to the community. I've been on the board of directors for the Jasper Optimist Club for 10 years. Spent a lot of time putting up flags in the Avenue of Flags on the holidays, and again, just the motivation to serve is doing the best I can to help my community, my fellow man, support the troops, and on and on.
Now, let's talk a little bit about District 3, because I know only in some towns, for instance, in Huntingburg, all up at Tocas, I don't think in the primary there is a contested race, but here in Jasper there's a couple of contested races. What is District 3? So folks only in District 3 will be voting.
Right, District 3, and you're right, it is fairly rare to have a contested race in the primary, but it's very healthy for the political process, so we're glad to see that happening. District 3 specifically, it runs basically from Springs Valley Bank to the square, and then it comes west, so between 15th Street and 231 as we come west, and it kind of makes a few boundary jogs there. It takes on west of all the way to St. Charles, west of the high school, and then we head down Klemper Road, Gregory Lane, Klemper Road, to basically to the end of the Sunshine Drive area, and I think it's 400 West, I think is the boundary of District 3.
Kind of a big area.
It
really.
is a pretty big area, as I found out from the campaigns and knocking on a lot of doors. I didn't know where all of my friends live, but I think I do now. So it's been pretty interesting. It is a big area to cover for sure.
Now, what will be some things that the Jasper City Council is going to be facing, and maybe some things that now Jasper has going on, and what are those issues that you feel are important, and how would you address those?
Well, I think the issues that are important, and I've been hearing this a lot, during my campaign. The average resident has those typical concerns. They're concerned about safety, concerned about schools, concerned about road conditions and things like that. And those things, along with the safe infrastructure, those things, continue to proliferate the dialogue. But I think another, major, we'll call it a challenge, we can call it an opportunity. There's been some recent news that came out about the need for diversity in the workforce and the service offerings and so forth. We're so heavily dependent upon you know, the manufacturing sector and agriculture and so forth. And, you know, there's been a lot of recent recommendations about adding some diversity to that. So that really does kind of bring, you know, full circle what I'm about. Grew up in a technology background, been working in information technology and defense technology for 30-some years, right? So I think I can bring that skill set to the city council. I mean, you know, I posted recently that every business is truly a technology business now, whether they like it or not. So I just look around the room here at the equipment and everything that you're doing here. Every company has to face technology decisions, and the city council is the same way. So, you know, whether you're putting body cams on a police officer or an communications infrastructure change, or even a change at the wastewater treatment plant, it doesn't matter. There's going to be some technology challenges. And, you know, I think that I can bring a skill set that really hasn't been in the city council before, that true analytical problem solving and deep thinking technology mindset.
What do you think differentiates you and your opponent here in the primary?
What differentiates me and my opponent? Well, my opponent, Chad Leakin, he's a great guy. You know, one of the differentiators is he has a lot more hair and a lot more kids than I do, but Chad and I are good friends, and we poke a lot of fun at each other. He's a good guy, but I really think the differentiator is my background and experience. So 30 years in the technology industry, problem-solving skills. You know, I did my undergraduate at University of Evansville in computer science. Pulled an MBA from University of Dallas while I was working on some technology down there. Spent many years working fighter jet technologies, information technologies. I'm deeply embedded in the cyber security world right now. So I think just being able to bring that technology skill set, bringing that capability, you know, those technology decisions are going to be more and more prevalent and important, you know, to the city's decisions.
Now we're going to give you the opportunity. We'll say anything else that you'd like. This is your open mic time.
Open mic. No, I just appreciate the consideration of the voters, and it's been a wonderful experience doing the door-to-door campaign. So, you know, people have opened their doors and opened their minds to what I've had to say. People are very receptive to the message. You know, and you know, I guess one of the other things that has come out in those discussions is really either concern or just thinking forward about the next generations. You know, as our kids graduate from high school and move on to college, they graduate college, many of the kids, you know, it seems like they keep going, right? They go to college and they keep going and they don't turn back, and we worry a little bit about, you know, will our kids ever return home? And we know that, you know, a lot of the workforce that, especially the ones in the skilled positions and you know, what the market demands today, we need to make that available and attractive to those kids and that talent, you know, to bring them back to Jasper, because, you know, we all kind of want to have our family close, and not that I ever want to inhibit them from going out and experience the world. I traveled the world. I lived in 2 different countries and 3 different states in my career, so it definitely was a benefit, but it would be nice for them to have a place to come home and support that lifestyle that they're looking for.
All right, well, Merrill, it's a pleasure meeting and talking with you today.
Great.
And remember, he is running on the Republican side of the ticket,
right,
for District 3, Jasper City Council. So that is what you'll vote, because this is the primary, not the general election. That'll be coming in November. May 7th is Election Day.
And early voting's going on right now.
That's right, and early voting is going on right now. You can vote that way, or you can vote on May 7th.
There you go.
And we'll have the coverage here on 18 WJTS. Merrill, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to WJTS. We have met Merrill Osterman, running for Jasper City Council, District 3, on the Republican ticket in the primary this term right now. Thank you for watching WJTS. We are local people watching local people.